Okay, so it is recording. So, as you're aware, I'm leaving to take on another headship, and Ms. Elbin-Claude will become the executive head teacher of the infants and the juniors. So, you would have met her during the tours in the autumn term, and she is currently on my screen. Do you want to give a wave, Miss Elbin-Claude? I think she's frozen.
No, I was waving.
Oh, are you waving? But you're frozen on mine. And then Mrs. Barwin will be talking as well. She's the assistant head for early years as well, and she is Blue class teacher as well. So I'm now going to share my PowerPoint with you. So here we go. Let's share and put it on here. I'm also going to be letting people in at the same time. So I'm going to be doing a bit of multitasking here as well. Hopefully they will pop up on my screen. Hopefully you can all see the screen. It is recording, so we will be putting it on our YouTube channel. So welcome to Cunningham Hill Infant School. You are about to join reception, and reception is part of the early years foundation stage. I'm just admitting somebody in. It's a lot of multitasking. So here we go. Ooh, click on this now. Hopefully you can't see the participants. I'm going to link that down. So this is our team. So we have Ms. Elbin-Claude, who's going to be the executive head teacher of the infants and the juniors, and you would have met her during the tours in the autumn term. We've also got Miss Watson, who is our Senko in the infants, and she's also the Senko in the juniors. We also have a family support worker, and her name is Mrs. Hope. Going to click on the next one. There we go. So the reception team is made up of Mrs. Barwin, who is Blue class teacher, and Mrs. Carter and Mrs. Haynes, who are Red class teachers. Miss Mackay is the teaching assistant for Blue class, and Mrs. Sabaray is the teaching assistant for Red class. Miss Brookfield works across the two classes as an HLTA.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk you through the curriculum that you will be aware of, as it does continue from nursery. So if you have got used to the way nurseries share your child's learning with you, it's exactly the same in reception. So there are 3 prime areas that you're used to, which is the communication and language, which is the talking, listening, paying attention, showing understanding. The personal social, which is the same as PSHE that you'll be aware of. You've got older children as well. That's developing your child's self-confidence, self-esteem, thinking about how they can manage their feelings, how to build friendships and relationships. So that's a really big part of our curriculum. And also our physical development, which is not only our PE, but it's also holding pencils correctly, being aware of healthy lifestyles, health and self-care for themselves too. And we really are strong believers that until we get these 3 prime areas right in nursery and reception, the children won't be ready to access the other areas of the curriculum, which we'll come on to. So we will get these prime areas really secure to make sure your child is confident to speak, not only in front of one adult or a small group, in front of 30, you know, paying attention for longer periods of time, extending that across the year. And then they will be ready then to access the next part of the curriculum, which are the specific areas.
Okay, just click.
So they are what we know as English and maths, literacy, mathematics, understanding the world, which incorporates history, geography, science, technology, and expressive art and design, which for us is music, art, D&T. Those 4 specific areas you'll be used to from nursery. It's nothing new. We carry on building on the foundations that they have started. So your child may have started at 22 to 36 months achieving, then they'll have gone on to 30 to 50. And then when they're with us in reception, we move them from 30 to 50 months into the 40 to 60 category, and then into early learning goals, showing us that they're ready to move on to year 1. So those areas you will be familiar with. We would normally talk in depth now about how we introduce our children into literacy, particularly through our phonics programme and through our Maths Mastery programme. But what we've decided is there's too much information today. I think we're all just worried about getting our children back into school and having missed such a chunk of their nursery time. So we are going to hold workshops for you September and October. Miss Elba and Claude and I have planned in some dates that you'll hear from us, and we'll discuss those in more depth in the autumn term when we're all in that headspace. Okay, so your child will learn in a range of ways. Not every way suits every child. So what's lovely in reception is they will learn our carpet activities. They'll be sitting on the carpet having adult introduction, but then working with the partner, perhaps using manipulatives, sharing ideas, taking in turns to talk to a partner before sharing with the whole class. Lots of areas for learning in child initiated, both inside and out, and in red class and blue class. We call it free flow. Group work, teamwork, which requires cooperation and collaboration skills that we will help them with. They have learning partners that get changed weekly. This helps not only to build new friendships, but lots of children are sometimes, nervous to say their answer in case it's wrong. So sometimes you give them time to talk to their partner first, share their thoughts and ideas before sharing them with the whole class. And it's a lovely way to build new friendships, having a new learning partner. And like I say, they change every week and they're randomly chosen. On a typical year, we are very lucky to have school trips. They may be local, so this academic year we walked to our local post box to post Christmas cards home. We've been to our library before. We go to the care home, Orchard Care Home, that we're hoping to continue if things can improve in the community for us all. Then we usually have a nice summer trip to round off the year. We might go a bit further afield. And we're very privileged. We have lots of school visitors that can come in and share information and knowledge with our children, experiences. They may be religious visitors. It might be somebody to talk about a charity like Marie Curie. We have NSPCC come in to help our children learn how to keep themselves safe, theatre groups. So we have lots of different ways for learning. And similar again to a lot of your nurseries, the way we share your child's learning with you is Tapestry. That's our online journal. So you have access to your child's journal all the time. You can see what they were doing. They get updated daily. They're very current, and not only can we upload work, but you can too. And home learning during lockdown has proved how beneficial they are for parents to share with us what your child can do at home. So you'll be getting lots of information about Tapestry once you're on roll in September. So what does your child need when they start school? So shoes with Velcro, please, no laces, as obviously your child, it's unlikely they'll be able to do laces up, and we could spend a whole day going around tying laces. So please, shoes with Velcro. They do take them on and off for PE slots, sometimes just because they want to take them off to do something, so only Velcro. School uniform, that's currently being bought, please, from Stevenson's. We were chatting to lots of you on Friday, Miss Elba, Claude and I. For now, because things have been slowed down due to the lockdown, we couldn't get the Federation uniform ready. So for the smaller sizes, carry on buying it from Stevenson's. By next summer, when you're ready to replace things because your children are growing out of them, then start purchasing the new Federation uniform. But everything school uniform wise from Stevenson's. A named water bottle, please. You might think your child knows what their water bottle looks like, but if there's 2 or 3 with the same one, it does get very confusing and they get very particular, and for safety must have their name on. Named book bags. Normally you would be buying those this morning because we'd all have cash and we'd be in our normal way. Obviously lots of people aren't happy using cash at the moment, so what we've agreed is book bags, PE bags and hats. You can buy those the first week when you start school. We'll be selling them again. Those normally we'd say we want them to come to school every day with everything ready right from day one, but of course we're just going to relax that for this year, and you can buy those the first week back. If you want to come and get them, the school office is available. Perhaps we'll put a message on of when you could perhaps pop up if you want to buy them first. In the PE bags, please, we like white t-shirts, black shorts, trainers and a jumper or a fleece. The white and the black shorts is just again to make them feel as part of a community as opposed to a big range of colours. And we do PE outside, so trainers are really handy for that, please. A named apron, any style you like. The good ones are Stevenson's, where it comes right down to the cuff and right up to the collar, saves you having to wash their t-shirt every day if they're a keen painter or playing in the mud kitchen. And please do name everything. We start PE from probably week 3, so they are taking off t-shirts, jumpers, trousers and putting on PE kit. Then that PE kit has to get put into their own PE bag. That's where we usually have fun with 30 white t-shirts, because they just get dressed, and probably like in their bedrooms it just gets thrown around. So we teach them to create a nice little pile. But if it's got their name in it, stops them getting upset and stops us having to try and rehome everything. Housekeeping. Is this me, Catherine? I can't see initials on the bottom.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. So the PE bags stay at school for the whole half term. They only come home at the holidays for you to check the sizes still fit, and then to return things to other families that your child has managed to gather up into their PE bag. Please be on time. Our doors open at 10 to 9 and the gate closes at 9. The reason we really want them here at 10 to 9 is that's when learning starts. Your child will come straight in and they go straight to a busy finger activity, which is a different activity every morning that is getting their fingers moving and their brains ticking, and then calm and ready for 9 o'clock where we do registers and go straight into typically maths, but it could be anything. So please be on time. Learning does start then. We listen to readers at 10 to 9, so your child could be reading to an adult by 10 to 9, and every minute really matters. So 10 to 9 is really good practice, please. Encourage them to come in on their own. Obviously, we're going to be dealing with some different concerns in September as new parents, and we're parents too. We understand that children may have more separation problems. We're going to wait and see what Boris announces today and moving forward, but as best possible, hand them over to a member of staff. We have lots of strategies in place. Tends to be, as you know, once you've gone around the corner, they are fine. If they're not, we can call you. But more times than not, we find something that they love. And once we know if it's dinosaurs or a construction tool or an iPad, we have strategies to get them in and make them happy and go to their activities. So please trust us with that. But we will work very closely with you after lockdown. We're always there for you to talk to us. You know, we need a two-way parent relationship. You can chat to us in the mornings, especially if something's happened overnight or they've had a bad night or a terrible cough throughout the night that's kept them awake, because then we can be more aware of perhaps of their behaviour. 3:15 is preferred only because obviously they were not racing to get lunches and registers in. And if it's something private and you don't want your child to hear, you know, when you say, oh, they're not been very well all night, so I've told them if they're not well, you'll phone me and they can come home. They love that, because then they say, well, my mummy said I can go home because I'm not well. So if you want to have that chat, just wait till your child's gone into the carpet to do their busy fingers and then let us know that then, because they do hold that against us and they do want to come home to you, obviously. Feedback isn't like nursery, where you get a daily update from the key worker. It's more no news is good news. So if we just give you a wave and a thumbs up, it means they've had a great day, and then more feedback will be given to you October half term, and that comes around very quickly. But if there's an issue or any concerns, we would feedback to you regularly, so please don't worry. It may be a phone call, an email, so it's not quite the same as nursery. Typically, we would have been out to all the nurseries, we would have met your child, we would have watched them play, we would have had a chat to them, and then we would have been split in the classes. We've had to do it differently this year. County supplied a transition toolkit, which all the nurseries completed. Tell us a little bit about your child. And lots of your nurseries have been amazing, and they've given me their report that they may have given you in March or more recently, and they've been emailing those over. So this year we've had to split the classes slightly different to normal, but the way we've decided to do it this year is we've tried to keep nurseries as a group, so that at least your child will recognise some familiar faces. So fingers crossed, the way we split the classes will be successful. Thank you on that one.
So Hertfordshire Catering Limited, they provide our lunches. All the children in an infant school are entitled to a free lunch. If your child does have a food allergy, please visit their website and fill in an online allergy registration, which we'll send to you in an email. If your child doesn't like something, for example, milk, there's no need to tell them that, just if it is actually an allergy. So we have a 3-week menu, and this is on our website if you'd like to have a look. And it is quite a tasty menu. And I will talk to you shortly about Parent Mail, which is our communication tool. But each week through Parent Mail, you'll be sent a link where you will be able to choose your child's options for that week. This will happen up until the summer term, and then during the summer term, your child will choose their own lunch on a daily basis, and this will prepare them for the transition into year 1. So there's quite a variety on the menu, and there's a hot and a cold option and a vegetarian option each day. At least twice a week, there'll be a halal option. There will be a choice of vegetables, salad, pasta or potatoes, and a pudding each day. If you'd prefer your child to have a packed lunch from home or a mixture of both, that's absolutely fine. And just a reminder that we are a nut-free school. So there's a few things that you could do to prepare your child for lunch times. Encourage them to eat with a knife and a fork. Encourage them to start cutting their own food when they're at home. Do look at the menu that's online and do try some of the new foods that will be available to them at home. So you, Mrs. Barwin?
Yeah, so how you can help your child to be ready. Encouraging them to dress and undress independently. They will be getting changed for PE. They will be putting their coats on themselves to go out to play and outside for learning. Socks and tights are obviously quite tricky. Find a strategy that works best for your child and try and help them to do those, because they will often sit on the carpet with socks waiting for us to do them for them. So if you can keep helping with that, it really does help speed things up. Using the toilet, they must be able to wipe their own bottom. And if you keep reminding them to flush and how important washing their hands is, we do a lot on that when they first start school, but currently I'm sure you're all putting a lot of emphasis on that at home, so please keep that up. Long hair is best kept up for hygiene reasons, obviously, but also just because it does keep it out of their faces when they're working, often looking down at manipulatives or working with a friend. So hair out of their faces does help them to learn and be less distracted. Keep encouraging them to write their name. We appreciate some children love holding a pencil and having a go at anything, and some are less keen. Anytime you write in a card to anyone, a really nice way in is if you just write your name on this card to grandma, you know, it'd be the best birthday present she'll have. They have to write their name on all their learning. So the quicker they can do that, the better, and only a capital letter at the beginning, please, and small letters following on from that. We prefer no earrings in school, but we understand some children do start school wearing earrings. If you just pop some tape over them, it just stops them catching. We do physical play every day because it's so important for young children's gross motor skills. So if that's the apparatus, it might be flying kites, it could be hula hoops, skipping ropes. So even though it's not a PE day, there's still lots of physical activities going on, and it's best just for safety to tape them up. And we do keep tape in school, and if they're not taped up, we will do it for them. Okay, what we're planning, this is the way we plan to do settling in. Obviously the same as you, we're waiting for updates, but this is the plan if everything is continuing as it is at the moment. We're doing a normal, quick transition for many reasons, but we do believe that children learn right from day one, and we want them in as quick as possible, but we want them in happy and content. So on Thursday the 3rd, 15 of the children will come into blue and red in the morning for 2 hours, and the other 15 children will come in the afternoon. That was communicated to you in your pack on Friday, so you'll know whether we're expecting you on the morning or the afternoon of Thursday the 3rd, so please check that. And then on Friday the 4th, all children come in, so all 30 will go into red class and blue class, and they do 9 till 11:45 on the Friday. So week 2, A 10 to 9 start, finishing at 12 o'clock, and the same again on Tuesday. So they get the afternoon then to come home and rest and digest all the information that they're taking in. Wednesday, they stay for their lunch and they come home straight after lunch. Thursday, just a little bit longer to 2 o'clock, just to start teaching them that they don't go home after their lunch. So stay till 2, collected at 2, please. And then Friday, all day. And from that day onwards, they're in school full time. If for any reason you have a child that you think needs a slower transition, if you email or call the school and we can have a chat with you. But I find it's best to trial them first, get them into school. If they're not coping or they're very tired, if there's any other reasons, we tend to spot that very quickly and then we would communicate with you. But preferably, please, we like all children to start school together, because if they're going home at lunchtime, they're missing an afternoon of social activities, and we'll let you know if they're struggling and perhaps they can come home, but we prefer them in. Okay, our partnership needs to be very strong right from the beginning. You know them better than anybody, so you are their first teacher and we need to learn from you. So we ask that you share anything that you think is important with us, because then we can help them to have a safe and enjoyable start to school. Keep your conversations at home open and transparent. That's how we keep them safe. You'll know that things are changing all the time about RSE, and we've communicated how we're going to be using Jigsaw to help. But to keep children safe, conversations need to be honest and open. Ask open questions. If they come home from school and you say, did you play with anyone? They'll say no. Did you have a nice day? No. Did you eat your lunch? No. But if you say, oh, who did you play with today? They might say, what did you have for lunch today? I remember we ordered chicken. What did you have with your chicken? Open questions allows a dialogue. Otherwise, they will say that they didn't play with anyone, they had an awful day and they ate no lunch. Then you get really upset. The next morning you ask us and we say, oh no, they're in the thick of it with a skipping rope. I can picture them yesterday playing beautifully. So ask open questions, and any worries, do ask us and we will let you know, but no child will be left on their own. We have loads of play leaders and lovely strategies, so be ready for that one if you're a first-time parent through school. Please do use age-appropriate language. They repeat, they tell us all sorts, so just think about the language you're using at home. And digital diets, normally we would be talking about, you know, the role of technology, how of course it's important and on the up, possibly more so than normal this year, but just be aware of technology time, parental controls, monitoring how much time they have on technology, please. Do tell us if there's a problem. It might be a bereavement, it could be a new baby on the way, it could be a family member has come to live with you for a while, because it may trigger a behaviour change in your child. But if we know about it, we can make allowances. Sometimes the child's having a really, really tricky time. We try and keep coping with them for a week or so, and then we end up saying to you, we've really noticed a change in their behaviour, is everything okay? And then you tell us something and we think, now that all makes sense. So you might think it's really trivial, but if it's something that's affecting your child, do tell us so we can be aware. And always encouraging children to be kind and tolerant. This is a lovely age group where they are tolerant and have no preconceptions. So they're just always accepting of everyone, but just keep encouraging that, just to be good citizens for the community.
So our main way of communicating with you is through parent mail. It means that you can pick up messages on your phone and emails really quickly. We also send texts as well. You'll be sent the link by the office shortly, so please click on it and register. So I've just got a message that's come up on my screen. Okay, so attending school every day is very important. Learning takes place whatever what is happening at school. If you request a holiday, this will be unauthorised, and we do monitor attendance, and if your attendance does fall below 94%, we will speak to you, and if we need to, we will involve the attendance officer. We also monitor lateness after 9 o'clock, so it's vital that your child is in school on time, and it's a really good way to start the day. So you would have got your pack last week, and these are the things that were in your pack. There's a couple of things that we need to have back by next week. So drawing, and there's a piece of paper for them to draw a picture and write their name, the homeschool agreement, the background record form, parental permission form. We've got a school dog, so that needs to come back. School milk, pick-up arrangements, and an online safety form. So if you could get those out of your pack and give them back to us by the end of next week, that would be brilliant. So if you or your partner receive any of the following benefits: income support, income-based job seekers allowance, pension credit, employment support allowance, or child tax credit, please visit the website on this slide. We'll send it to you in an email, and it could be that your child would be entitled to extra funding for the school. We can support you in doing this as well.
I'd just say at that point as well, Ms. Cooper, that although you have free school meals in the infants, you won't get them in the juniors. And so if you're entitled to free school meals, it's better to have set up the system sort of earlier on, so then you don't get that big shock when you get to the juniors as well.
Just a warning for Miss Elbaum-Clode and Miss Barwin, we've got about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, that's fine. Clubs, we don't tend to offer clubs straight away, as it's a big shock for your child starting school, even though they may have done full days in nursery. They tend to start around lunchtime in the spring term, and then perhaps after school for the summer term. And early birds and owls, we're just waiting again for guidance if that can open as normal. You will receive a letter directly from them very shortly regards how you can get early birds or owls before and after care at the junior school.
We have every intention of, we are planning to open early birds and owls. We haven't got any other clubs running so that we can social distance with early birds and owls. So hopefully that will be going ahead. So this is my slide. As Ms. Cooper mentioned, we are federating in September. And although it starts in September, we've actually been doing lots of work towards that. And already we are working very closely across the schools. You probably won't see a lot of change, and if you're new to the school, the sorts of things you would notice is that we will be having one website from next term, later in the term, and then obviously the uniforms will be the same, but there will be subtle things that will be moving forward, and as two schools we will be working much more in line together. So we think that this is going to be a real benefit to not only the children, but parents and also the staff at both schools. And, you know, we really think that there are going to be some positive things that come out of it. And as I said, I will be the head across both schools. And we also have a senior leadership team that are at both schools and will be working. So you may see some at both schools and you'll get to know them really quickly. So last but not least, I think the Scooper's got the last slide.
Sorry.
That's all right. So just a little collection of pictures of children at play, which is, you know, what we really want for your children. We want them to come to school. We want them to have a love of learning, and we want them to set up with a really positive start to their life at Cunningham Hill. And if you saw the children today, even within our social distancing, they are being so resilient. I had one of the classes yesterday, bless them, and on Tuesday, and they are really resilient and really great learners, and we think it's going to be a really, really positive start for the year. As I said, we've got the questions down the bottom, but if you have any other questions, of course, feel free to contact the office, or if you are a parent and you come round with your older children, just ask us as you come round. So we will send all the questions out to you, and if anyone else phones up and asks any other questions, we'll be putting that on that as well as we send it out. So thank you very much for joining us. I think we managed to just get it in time. We look forward to seeing you in September, and we hope you have a really good summer and manage to do something in terms of a holiday wherever you're going, or if it's a staycation, we hope you have a really good time. Miss Cooper or Mrs. Barwin, anything final you'd like to say?
I would just say, if you've got any questions, put them on the chat. We've got about 3 minutes left of this time. If you haven't, just leave the meeting, and Bye-bye.